Line up, you f***ing nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. The Money Line. We are live. It is a beautiful, for Mike Finch, Monday night. For me, a very early Tuesday morning. And we're talking some UFC 307. We got a pay-per-view. What's up, Finch, man? How you doing?
I'm good, buddy. I kept you up tonight. Thank you for doing the late night show. But we're doing it for UFC 307. AJ, I swear I've never bet this much so early on fights. So I'm super excited for 307.
Let's go. I'm really excited to go back and forth with you about this card because we were talking a little bit before we went live that there's some interesting odds. And you even brought up that I mentioned it during Sunday's breakdown. I think some of the odds are weird on this card. So I'm looking forward to see where we're lining up on things. It's going to be fun as hell. But we do have to briefly discuss a little bit about what went down this past Saturday. It was a good event. UFC Paris. I had a lot of fun watching it. I was live for the whole card, and I was happy to be. Moicano gets it done, and I was bragging rights hype. I think that's my best pick of the year, bro. Money Moicano to fucking win. So I was grateful. I really was impressed with the way he beat up BSD from top position. But the big question that I just kept saying throughout the week to everybody, what happens when he gets BSD down, when he gets BSD in a bad spot? And we saw Benoit Saint-Denis is inefficient from his back. And I was honestly very grateful that he was. And big W for Money Moicano.
They tried to throw every monkey wrench they could at Moicano. Moicano's on the win streak, so they put him on enemy territory in Paris. The commission has him wait up, do extra blood work with Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen, who, by the way, ended up losing his contest. Money Moicano had to wait, he said, 3 hours. I'm not sure if that's a perfect quote, but something along the lines of this, as to where his opponent was able to go back and rehydrate. And then we find out that he came into this with an injury. He had a completely torn labrum in his shoulder, and I would know something about it because I have a partially torn one myself, and I cannot imagine having a full tear like he did. Did you see his collarbone sticking out of poking up his skin while he was beating the shit out of Benoit Saint-Denis?
That was badass. Yeah, no, it was weird looking. I said, holy shit. I noticed it after the fact, the shoulder injury. People in chat were saying it.
It was horrifying. I mean, if you just go back and watch the fight, looking at that, you will be gross. It's the same feeling you get when you see a Anderson Silva's leg break. I'm just looking at this collarbone poke through the top of his skin and thinking, this guy, it really is just that focused where he performs like that in this situation. You know, total performer, a guy who steps up, and that Rafael Fiziev knockout is just looking more like a fluke than a story about Renato Moicano, because he is very talented, man. Dominant performance, and he, you know, really, as you said, showed the holes in the defensive grappling ability. It was hard for Benoit Saint-Denis to be the nail, and Renato Moicano busted him up.
For the people in chat asking, Dana White's Contender Series breakdown dropping after this stream. Me and the Finch man got to chop it up first, and then I'll be dropping that later. Early in the morning hours or late at night, depending where you're at. And we do got the dono that opened it up. Wise, I'm sorry I took a moment. I'll sing it for you. Open up your wallets and let's bet on some fierce fights.
Yeah. Thank you for the dono. Thank you, Wise.
Thank you, Wise, for the $9.99. You're a gangster. I'm hype. Let me say something real quick about Money Moicano. He needs to be put into a big fight. And as much as the rankings don't make sense on this fight, Moicano himself said he's into the thing of followers, right? He's looking to build his own YouTube. He's looking to build his name. The Paddy Pimblett fight, even if Paddy doesn't necessarily deserve the jump up as much, the Moicano Paddy Pimblett fight has a huge story behind it. The UFC can use it in more ways than just having them fight in the cage. Let me tell you my idea, Mike, and the people that follow the channel know I think they need to coach the Ultimate Fighter. That's an Ultimate Fighter season that gets eyes on it. I think that is a more intriguing season by a long shot than McGregor Chandler. I really feel like the eyes on Tough will go crazy, but I got more than just Tough, though. I don't want them just coaching Tough. We're doing Brazil versus the UK. Let's get the best talent from both. If we're going to keep the Ultimate Fighter around, why not go for something dope? I think it'd be a huge season. People would be watching closely.
That advice sounds directly connected to the AJ DeVito, the fight matchmaker for an organization. You see how you know what's going to keep the show alive. You know how to what the matchups should be and how they should promote it. AJ, you're missing your call in here, dude. Say peace out to YouTube, and we're writing you a resume to go be a matchmaker and revive the Ultimate Fighter. That's your real calling in life. Don't you see it?
I think I'd be good. I'd be good at it, but I feel like I can't be taken seriously at 25 by the UFC. They'll look at me.
Same thing.
That's what it is. I'm a little
Here
young.
I am. I'm 32.
Yeah.
So, I worked for Bellator, but
You
I don't
did.
know. Is that what you want to do? Here I am interviewing AJ on his own show.
This
AJ,
is good.
we'll talk fights. So we're not going to talk about AJ, but I'm just saying you got a knack for this.
Thanks,
I'll
man.
pay a compliment.
So I really appreciate that. So I have been starting a new series is the fights I need to see next with, yes, the intention to like entertain everybody and have fun matchups and talk about hypotheticals, but also because I do think I am gifted at that I want to test myself by doing it every week as an add-on to the normal content of matchmaking for some of the key fighters on all of the cards. So I am going to keep doing it. Is it my intention to leave YouTube and be a UFC matchmaker? Not really. I mean, if the UFC calls, I'm assuming it's 15 years from now. Maybe they'll call me. They'll say, hey, AJ, you want to do it? But right now, I think that I'm covering it right here. I'm making it happen. And my hypotheticals maybe are the right move. Maybe they'll be taking notes under what I'm doing eventually. I don't know.
You're making it happen. I'm making it happen. Look at the new Mike Finshow Cup.
Holy
Unbelievable gift. I turned 32 this month, and my brother-in-law, my wife's brother, made these incredible. Look at this. So
you
we
could
got
sell those, dude.
Should I?
You should.
We need Moneyline, MMA.
We need money. We got to start selling random things. We won't do shirts. We'll do fucking cups. Yo, people been asking me about shirts for a long time. Huh?
Merch, yeah. The
Merch,
t-shirts, the face-off. We'll make something happen. We got to. I run into a producer in the gym who mixes and masters music all the time, and he's always asking me, "Hey, what about that parlay song? You gonna do that?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, we're gonna do it." Bro.
That would be sick, bro.
We got to get on it. Okay, how the fuck did we get this far off Money Moicano and Benoit Saint Denis? Money Moicano looked great. Next,
and then we got co-main event, Mike Finch's boy, Brendan Allen, took it out.
Oh, you're just going to say Mike Finch. I mean, I can pull off Imavov. No, Imavov or Allen. Maybe I'm Allen.
I think I look more like Imavov if we're at this point with the fucking brown beard. I mean, then
Imavov.
Maybe like a distant cousin or something. You're a beardless Imavov, actually. That's the vibe I'm getting.
I saw that too. Look, Imavov looked really good, but these guys gassed, man. These guys gassed, and Brendan Allen was shooting shots he didn't need to shoot, AJ.
Yeah,
Brendan, why are you just shooting singles into the hip? Like, there was no... When you're attacking somebody with takedowns, you still want a piece of unpredictability to your movement. So as soon as you start hitting that single the exact same way, maybe you need to now bring the knee up high. Maybe this time you need to shoot an outside single and get an angle and follow it up to do a back take. Maybe you want to fake like you're shooting a single, and then when they change levels, initiate an upper body clinch with double underhooks. You don't want to just keep shooting the same shot as you get tired. So, AJ, I thought it was a pretty bad performance from Brendan Allen. It almost looked like the French commission held him up for 3 hours and took a lot of blood out of him.
I mean, that's the word on the street. He said that that's what happened, and I definitely think it could affect his gas tank. Brendan Allen went 5 hard with Chris Curtis last time, and to see him that gassed in round 3 was really interesting. Honestly, what I thought Brendan Allen should have done is strike in that 3rd round and just throw the takedown away, because I don't think that the differential in striking, especially in the 3rd round, was as wide of a gap as would have been anticipated leading into this fight. Earlier in the fight, I was like, okay, Imavov's cleaner on the feet, but there was moments for Allen. But round number 3, Brendan Allen with a tired Imavov trying to throw shots that are like a little lazy. I think he could have dropped some hammers instead of engaging in wrestling. Is what it is.
Man, when you're in there though and you're tired, you know, it's just I don't know, you naturally start to go into the shot or the clinch. You know, you have to be very disciplined to be able to do what you're saying, which plenty of people are. I mean, yeah, you're right. He at this level, he has to be. So you're right. I think he would have done a lot better for himself. Just fuck it, let's strike. Because Imavov was tired too. So, right. God, they were all tired. Now we're going higher elevation.
Yeah, we're at high elevation this week.
This card's going to be like,
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. AJ, thank you. Watching in my school toilet and missing math. Good, man. You don't need math. You need the show. Thank you, AJ. I appreciate you, bro. Thanks for $2.99. That's funny as hell.
Oh my God, kid. Look, if you're anything like me, you need to pay attention to math, okay? Fuck that class. I love science, English, but math? No. Come on, bro. Turn Moneyline off. You got to focus.
That's funny, man. I'm just saying skip math altogether.
No.
Oh my God, you don't need that shit.
Bad advice. But you know, they don't really include all the good topics. Like a kid, make sure you study Stoic philosophy. You know, like they're not going to teach that in high school, but it'll help you just as much as that math class.
All right, there we go. Mike, actually, Professor Mike, Professor Finch in the house. Mr. Parlay Peace, thank you for the one. I don't care how late I am. My boy was getting a tip. Thank you. We appreciate it. You're not even late. We're still recapping and bantering. Imavov won the fight. I kind of think a damn Adesanya fight might be next, because what are we going to do? We're going to have prospect fight again with Barrio and him. I think if they're looking to take a chance on Imavov, which you're going to have to do, if the rankings have any meaning and Adesanya is serious about fighting to earn another shot, it has to be Imavov. Though as a fan, I prefer the Barrio fight. There's always a certain sense of, the fighter has earned their place. Even it's business, but it's still sport. And Imavov, to me, deserves the Adesanya fight right now. If you're looking at rankings, that's the one.
I knew AJ was going to bring rankings up, so I literally have the UFC rankings right here, ready to go. But I didn't know the weight class. All right, here we go. He wants Imavov title shot. Well, what about, aren't you going to wait to see what happens with Khamzat and Whitaker?
Because Imavov and Khamzat are friends. They're only going to fight for the belt. I'm saying no. And then the Whitaker fight, who knows how much damage he takes. He could be out for a while. I'm assuming Imavov wants in the next 4 months.
Yeah, if they're going to turn him around quick, that would be cool.
I don't think he's waiting around. He can't wait around. You got to fight, because there's really no reason to wait, because there's 2 guys in line, Strickland potentially, and then the Khamzat Whitaker winner are right there. Imavov beats an Adesanya. Now there's a different conversation we're having. He could jump the line.
If they're ready to put that belt up, fuck yeah, that makes sense. AJ, you got me. I'm on board.
All right, let's go. Let's go, my man. All right, let's very briefly discuss just a feature about. I just want to say Brito won the fight, but he got robbed on a decision. I know it's a close fight, but going back and rewatching it, I scored it initially 2-1 Brito. And I thought, maybe I was being biased in the first round. I went back and rewatched it, and he did more damage. He had a, near fight-ending submission at the very end of the round. How do you not win the round with that? Does Gomez kind of just holding him from full guard beat big punches on the feet and a near finish by submission? I don't think so. If we're judging from damage is, number one, or at least a major facet would be near finishing moments, wouldn't that be bigger than just laying on him? I guess not, because we're in France. And, they got to give it to their boy. I don't know. A little bias.
That could be the case. I feel like my bias is, I knew to stay away. I had a feeling I needed to stay away from this fight when I was looking at those heights, and I saw that William Gomez was 6 feet tall and Brito is a fun size, Snickers bar. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The little ones for Halloween.
Yeah.
I just felt like, I don't know, they're in Paris. I had a feeling stay away from this one. I don't even know if you know, but I did it was only plus 800 or something when I bet on it, but it went up to plus 1,000, 10x on Ian Cutelaba by points, or some people have it as Ian Cutelaba decision.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
That was sick. That was sick.
That was
and
sick.
then Daniel Barres, I went on.
Good underdog had him too.
And then Brian Battle was both of our locks, right?
That was our lock city, bro. So we did great. We did great. Overall, I think Paris was a massive success. 11-3 on the record with the lock of the week coming through. And overall, some pretty accurate, like straight down the center picks, but definitely good call on that decision, Cutelaba. I thought that was a dope one.
Yes. Brian Battle looked good, man. And he had to deal with some shit too, but he broke Kevin Juicy Smoulier down. And I feel like Brian Battle is just like heart of a warrior, heart of a lion, Dricus Duplessis type heart. And he keeps showing that.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a fan. Brian Battle keeps running up the ranks. And, you know, I did every fight to make next series earlier today. And I said Battle versus Randy Brown's got to happen next. I think that's probably what's going down.
AJ the matchmaker. How could I dispute?
That's it. Listen, we do got to talk this card. We're ranting and raving about Paris. I'm feeling more French by the fucking second. I'm ready to twirl this stash over here.
Parlez-vous français?
Let's listen. I'm trying to get to Mormon country. We're going to fucking Utah, my brother. Let's jump into it. We got UFC 307. Make sure you guys smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe it up. You won't be disappointed with the content. Let's talk the first fight of the night. We got Tim Means versus Court McGee. Battle of OGs, man. They're towards the twilight. 39 for Means, 40 for McGee. I'm going with Tim Means to win. I think that his hands are a factor in this fight. Court McGee is definitely going to look to wrestle, but I think Means might have decent enough grappling defense to keep Court McGee at bay. And I think he could hit him with some decent punches. I have to worry a little bit about McGee's chin. Does have 2 of his last 3 losses by knockout. Tim Means, I mean, he knocked out Fialho in the 3rd round, but he's been looking slow. If you ask me something about either one of these guys versus anybody else, I wouldn't even want to make a pick for either one. I wouldn't want to pick either one of these guys against a lot of welterweights. But against one another, I'll go Means, but no interest in the bet, to be honest. Like, I just feel like I'm playing with fire if I'm betting a 39-year-old and a 40-year-old that seem like they've taken some damage. What do you think? You got a bet on this one, Finch?
I've seen folks out there super confident in Means and McGee going to a decision. The thought process goes something like this. It goes, they're 40 and 41 years old. They go to decisions fairly often. Tim Means 2019 was his last finish, and Court McGee fought Alex, and I mean he's had some, he's shown his toughness. These guys are old, so they don't have the type of snap in their shots to finish each other. They're not athletic enough to finish each other. The thought process goes something like that. I think they're old. When are they going to get chinny? When are they going to have, some finish losses start to accumulate? How did Chuck Liddell go out when he was old? He didn't lose his power. He lost his chin. And so you just really never know with the Tim Means and a Court McGee when that next fight is going to show their age. And so I would just caution people on the over. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I had that thought when I first saw this too, is the over the bet? But after a little bit of analysis, you got to think all those years at, Kempo, kickboxing, Chuck Liddell school, John Hackelman school for Court McGee. You've seen the way they spar. I mean, when you're 41, we got some shit to consider when thinking about betting on you, and one is your durability.
So you're thinking Tim Means is the pick, or you like 50?
My pick is Tim Means, but I'm cautioning the confidence that people have in betting the over.
That's fair. I agree. I think it's risky. Mark, thank you for $2. God bless AJ. Court McGee W. Elevation and pace. That's an interesting mention because we are at elevation, and with Court McGee being the pressure grappler by nature, could that give him the edge? I feel like at their ages, it's like good luck if you're betting either side, but I think there are better bets to make with guys that are more primed. And I think you're playing with fire on a 50-50. I think betting distance is risky, Finch, because Tim Means hits hard. and Court McGee's been knocked out in 2 of his last 3. It's like, oh, but he survived Morono's shots. Who's Morono knocking out? Okay, Morono is rarely getting KOs at this point. He's not a big power puncher. He's a point puncher. He's to the target. He's accurate. He throws a lot. I think that Tim Means is pretty clean still on the feet. And I think he could catch Court McGee, especially after seeing Matt Brown lay Court McGee out. I just worry that he can't take a clean one. So I'm going to say this, Mark. Good luck on McGee. I'm not trying to absolutely shit on your confidence. But if you want to be a degenerate, bro, fuck it. Under 2.5 plus 150. Go for the under plus money because there's a chance somebody's going to bet. And to me, he's been submitted before. So
I get it's elevation bet on the wrestler idea. So I like the way you're thinking at least.
I like it if it's a fight of 2 guys that are primed. Not in this situation. We're both going Tim Means. If you want to hear the money line odds, minus 195 for Tim and plus 170 for Court McGee. That over is minus 183 with the under, like I said, plus 153. What's a Means KO? Plus 375 and a McGee decision plus 300. I think the best bet here is not.
Too many good fights on this card to bet on. But you know, this will be. I wrote down. So I write notes. You know, I wrote down the crowd loses. That's the one.
The crowd loses. So that sounds like a decision to me, my brother.
No, I just saw these old guys starting this card off. You know.
Yeah.
No, it's all good. It's all good. They who knows, right? You're gonna. It's. You know, you never know when that next fight's going to show their age is all I'm saying.
That's
I mean,
fair.
you know, you're starting the card off with 240-something-year-olds. Is it UFC caliber? You know, especially on a pay-per-view. I got a ton of respect for these two, but I don't think they're the top fighters in the world right now.
No, agreed. But OG battle, be fun to see who takes it. I like Means to stand up, and I think he could land some big shots that could potentially get him a KO. If not, I think he could do more damage en route to a decision. We're both on the same side with Tim Means getting it done in the first. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we have Ryan Spann versus Ovin St. Preux. I'm going with Ryan Spann, and to be honest, I feel like my confidence on Spann's up a tad. I do. I think that Spann's hands are a major advantage in this fight. I know he has moments where he fights horribly, but still, not Iwan Kute. I mean, he does have an Iwan Kutelaba win. Fucking Iwan Kutelaba still in my damn mind. Bogdan Gushkov lost for Spann, but he won the first round. And then I lost to Anthony Smith in the mix. I feel like Spann's one of those wild card cases where he can have fights where he looks awesome, like the Dominic Reyes fight, or he can have fights where it all kind of falls apart and he sells. It's just, is a 40-something-year-old Ovin St. Preux going to get to Ryan Spann? St. Prue's always been a little herky-jerky and awkward with his striking, very unorthodox and loopy with his punches, but I do think he's slowed down a bit, and we saw that with Felipe Lins getting to him early in their fight, and I think Ryan Spann can get to him quick too, so I'm going to go Spann to get the finish. I think Spann by knockout. And I mean, you know, it wouldn't be crazy if Spann ends up taking a decision. He just tries to wrestle here because he, you know, tried to just wrestle fuck Bogdan. But I think Spann's going to be way more confident in his offensive attack against a, 40-something-year-old Ovin St. Preux than he was against a prime kickboxer like Gushkov.
Ovin St. Preux's 41 and Ryan Spann's 33. You have to think that Ryan Spann is the guy who can recover from being hurt, is the guy who's going to have that speed to get to the target. And then you go into grappling or other levels of this fight. Ryan Spann's shown moments where he has a bit of game, and OSP somewhat of a staller in those other areas. I mean, I just feel like Ryan Spann is going to be able to make shit happen here. I think he gets a finish. I think that he's been fighting, high level competition. Gushkov, what's the Russian's name?
Bogdan Gushkov.
Bogdan Gushkov, split decision with Anthony Smith. Nikita Krylov, Dominic Reyes, Ian Kutalaba. These are guys where Ryan Spann is getting a lot of dangerous shots thrown at him. And so I think the couple weapons, the left and the right hands of OSP, are going to have a lot of trouble finding the target. You know, we've seen Jamal Hill put OSP out, Tanner Bozier, Philippe Lins. He did get that split decision with Kennedy and Zechiku, but I just think that Ryan Spann is another level of dangerous. So Spann KO.
Spann KO. I like that pick. Spann is a money line minus 300, so chalky favorite. OSP plus 250. And then looking at Spann by knockout, minus 150. They're not giving you much love on the KO. Under 1.5, minus 105. I think Spann is going to get a win. I know it's chalky at minus 300, but I think it could be a live piece for the parlay. It's just OSP is seemingly washed. And we can say, oh, but Spann's inconsistent. But like when I look at these two and I match them up, my brain says Spann should knock OSP out.
Spann should definitely knock OSP out. The Combat Chameleon, God bless you. God bless the United States of America. And God bless the Combat Chameleon for the dono. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. If you actually hit it at plus 1,000, that's amazing. I did get a ticket that actually he did hit it at plus 1,000 and he put it in a parlay. So shit. His odds multiplier was ridiculous. And then I saw my cousin in the chat. Shout out to Tyson. He just started back in college. Godspeed, Tyson. Spend that money right. Listen, man, we got the 33-year-old in his prime by knockout. That's the logical pick.
Yeah, we're going with logic on this one. We're going with Ryan Spann. Let's keep running. Our next fight, we got the ladies going after it in a rematch. Carla Esparza versus Tisha Pennington. They fought way back on Tough 20. It was a close fight when you go and rewatch it. I mean, the second round could have went towards Pennington, and the fight was a majority decision for Esparza. And if you remember those Ultimate Fighter fights, 2 rounds. I did think that Pennington got the second round, and I would have, preferred a third round, but, this is a long time ago now. But in the first round, Esparza was able to get some takedowns. The thing is, she couldn't do much with them. Esparza is a consistent wrestler and normally has great control. The thing about Tisha Pennington, and I think this has stayed true throughout her entire career, is she is absolutely relentless on the get up. She's trying to scramble. She's trying to get back to her feet. She doesn't get dominated in grappling and just bodied. Like if you're going to beat a Tisha Pennington with grappling, it's going to be a close fight and you're going to be pressure wrestling for 3 rounds. Tisha Pennington is in fantastic shape after having a kid. Carla Esparza also had a kid recently, a little bit over a year ago, but hasn't fought since then. And I guess I'm taking that into consideration as an external factor. We don't know how Esparza's body has responded after having a child, whereas I know Pennington can still compete at a high level. And I'll also say this, I feel like Esparza seems to have aged more so over the years than Pennington. If you look at their Instagrams recently, she doesn't seem to have the same muscularity and physique that she once did. It seems like she's hitting that end of the road, whereas I think Pennington still has 5 fights left, regardless of the number on the age. I'm going to go with Pennington on a split decision.
My man just roasted Carla Esparza. Holy shit. My man just roasted Carla. He said it's a bus. He said it's breaking down. How many miles are on that thing? Listen, man, I think you're on to something here. Carla Esparza, solid wrestler, very, very cool, good human being, but she hasn't fought since 2022. And she's up against somebody who's competing at a high level in the division. Just went to a split decision with Tabitha Ricci, and we see Tabitha Ricci and what her level's at, which is quickly becoming a title shot. I do think that Tisha Pennington is going to be able to take this fight over, and that could happen with activity too. We've also seen issues before where Carla Esparza doesn't throw enough shots, and here's a time where she's going to have ring rust too. So the timing is, she's never going to have to overcome more adversity to be able to get her timing as far as we've ever seen her. So I think there are a few factors that make me want to already think of Tisha Pennington. And then on top of that, this is just a competitive skill for skill fight. I mean, I think Tisha probably has a little better striking. Carla might have a little edge on the wrestling, and it'll be, it'll be a competitive fight, other than the fact that I think there's a chance we don't even see a good performance from Carla Esparza. That'd be far more surprising from a Tisha Pennington.
I like that. So Pennington, the decision on both sides. So I have to first mention the over 2.5, which is minus 600. That's funny, man. The odds of a finish here are so damn low.
Low, huh?
So, oh my God.
Carla's
Minus
just going to get out there and
that's it. It's just, come on. Holy shit. I think that Pennington is going to pull through. Yeah, it's Pennington. We're looking at fight odds. Update your shit. It says Tisha Torres. Got me confused for a second. Minus 170 for Tisha Pennington with Esparza at plus 145. Esparza actually, interestingly enough, opened up as the favorite in this fight, and the line quickly flipped. And what also is interesting is 80% of Tapology is picking Esparza. When I see that, it's like the odds are not saying the same thing. If everybody's picking Esparza, why wouldn't she be the favorite in this fight? It seems like the confidence on Pennington, even beyond what just our analysis is with the books, is also there, seeing that the line flipped and now Pennington's, at chalk. And I think that she's en route to getting it done on the scorecards. Now, as far as the decision prop, is minus 125 for Tisha. So, damn.
That's interesting. See, I don't watch the line movement that hard. That's interesting. All right. Well, I don't know. What is the reason, AJ? Aliens? Conspiracy? Why is that line moving? But you see the confidence. You tell us, conspiracy theorists.
I'll tell you what it is. It's the book saying
government.
We're willing to pay you plus money for Esparza because we don't think she's going to win. If everybody's picking her, if everybody is betting her, I don't know. I'm not looking at the potential bets that have been placed. Maybe I got to fucking dig into that. But seeing Tapology's at 80%, I'm sure there's gamblers in that mix, no?
With Bitcoin, the term is a whale. Somebody will have a lot of Bitcoin and move it in one moment, and that moves the market. So I wonder if it just takes a couple of whales and not the masses who bet $20.
Maybe you might be onto something, Finch. We'll see. Either way,
there might be other factors here. AJ,
there might be. Well, listen, we're both on the same pick, though. We both see Pennington win, and she is the favorite in the fight. So going with Tisha for the W. Let's keep running up the card. Our next fight, we got Alexander Hernandez versus Austin Hubbard. I think Alexander Hernandez is going to beat Austin Hubbard. I think he can outstrike him. He's cleaner and quicker on the feet. I think he's more accurate, too. I'm not too worried about him getting out-wrestled by Hubbard. Hubbard shoots an okay single leg, but Hernandez normally has good defense. The biggest gripe I have with Hernandez is the fact that he was just so determined to fight at 145, and his performances were consistently worse at 145. Like, I feel like Alexander Hernandez going down to 145 was like a career regression, if anything. I mean, he lost to Renato Moicano in 2022, and I think that's when the decision to drop in weight really kicked in, and then Billy Q ends up stopping him. Then he goes back up to 55, beats on Jim Miller, and looks so good in that fight. And then he loses to Bill Algeo at 45, and then he misses weight trying to fight Damon Jackson at 45 and loses. I think 145 was never the move for Hernandez. I mean, in Alexander Hernandez's prime of fighting, he's got to win over OAM. He's got to win over Dariush. He beat Francisco Trinaldo. He's got the Jim Miller win. He's got decent W's on the resume. I think that Hernandez is actually kind of good. I just think that him focusing on fighting at 145 was a massive mistake. And I don't think Hubbard's the same level of technical skill. Hubbard's decent with his brawling pressure. I would say he's a solid enough striker. He likes to switch the stances up. And I'd say he's got decent offense, but I don't think he has a lot of variety to his game. Sometimes I feel like he just comes in with the hooks, so throw some kicks to the body. But I don't know. I just don't see like a well fine-tuned striking skill set. And even though Hernandez's record is chalky, it's 14-8, it doesn't look good. I think that he is technically superior, and I'm going to pick him to get the win by decision potentially here. Decision or KO, but leaning decision.
He is, all right, 5'9" to 5'10". I actually thought Austin's a little longer. We were just talking before we went live how sometimes these heights are fucked up.
True.
Reach 71 inches. Let's compare the reach. 71 to 72. All right, fine. All right, well, if the height's not different, that kills that argument. But I do feel like at range, Austin Hubbard will do fine with the timing against an Alex Hernandez who, I'm on the other side. I'm going
Ooh.
with Hubbard. I like that Hubbard's been winning, and the only win that Alex Hernandez has since 2021 was Jim fucking Miller. So yeah, he's been fighting good competition and losing the good competition. Austin Hubbard, I was impressed the first time I saw him fight Charlie Radke. That was booked back before any of y'all motherfuckers knew who Charlie Radke was, but I did, because he guillotined me at Pat Curran's gym, and I was like, holy shit, this guy's a shark. And then, watching him and his brother fight, you guys don't even know about Brian Radke. Anyway, I saw Austin Hubbard back then, and I was impressed. So no, I don't see a large skill gap. Maybe you're not saying large, but I don't see a noticeable enough skill gap to think that a guy who's 1-4 in his last 5 is going to have an outstanding performance against a younger, hungry, a guy than he's used to fighting. And that's Austin Hubbard. Austin Hubbard can do it everywhere. I sort of look at it the opposite. The only issue he had was getting triangled by Kurt Hollabaugh, and Kurt Hollabaugh apparently has a nasty triangle, and he's apparently pretty solid at jiu-jitsu. He's got the Gracie tattoo, right? The little Gracie tattoo. He's a bad motherfucker. I know he got held down by Trogdon. Anyway, not a huge lock, but yeah, I go Austin Hubbard.
Well, listen, my man, I gotta get you on. So Hubbard's older than him, bro.
Hubbard's what age?
32, both 32.
32. So I'm not saying that Hubbard's old. I'm not saying that Hubbard's younger than him. I'm saying he's been fighting. Let's look at it. Let's look at who the fuck Alex has been fighting. Jim Miller's who he got the win over, and Jim Miller's 40, I think. Renato Moicano, 35. I guess he got beat down by these guys, though. Jesus Christ. Bill Algeo, 35. Damon Jackson, who he just fought that split decision with, 36. Why does Damon Jackson seem like he's 40? Is he
just Damon Jackson, bro. It's the vibes.
Why the fuck does he seem 40?
Yeah.
All right, fine. Jim Miller was old. That's all. But I think that Hubbard's tough test. He's in his fucking prime, dude.
I respect it. I'm excited to watch the fight, man. I'm excited more so now. Austin Hubbard's the plus 170
on the website. Did you see that? This one's not on the UFC website. I couldn't find it in certain areas, and I can find it in others. It wasn't like you can't parlay it when you're betting. Like this one was weird.
Well, I think it's a late addition to the card. I think that's why. Let me double check. If I don't think it was
it wasn't on UFC's website.
Yeah, I think they added it in the past couple weeks. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Let's see.
But when I couldn't parlay it and it wasn't on the website, I'm like, is this a ghost?
What is the ghost? I think they'll add it in eventually, though.
All right.
I'm going with the ghost pick of Hernandez. Finchman going with Hubbard. Hernandez, the minus 200 favorite. The over 2.5 is minus 210 here. And we'll see what ensues between these savages, man.
Let's go. Good fight.
Let's go.
Good matchup.
Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we have Ihor Potieria versus César Almeida. I'm going with the side of César Almeida. I think you have to. The dude is a high-level striker. I think that he can probably stop Potieria in this one. Potieria is not bad, though. He is a southpaw, and he's got kind of speed on his left hand. He's got decent strike. He had moments against Bellato up at light heavyweight, and, he's got a knockout win over Shogun, beat Brajcek, too. So he's not a horrible striker, but I just think Almeida being a very proficient and technical kickboxer, I think he's just too clean for Potieria, and I think he can probably catch him with some big shots and potentially get a knockout, man. So I'm going with Almeida in this one, Finch.
Yeah, Almeida seems like a pretty bad matchup for Ihor Potieria, even though we just saw him take an L to Roman Kopylov. I picked Roman Kopylov. César Almeida he trained with Alex Poatan Peña for this fight. And so that gives him a dangerous look, right? He's dealing with Poatan out there. Then you get out there with Potieria, and you're like, I feel good. So I think Almeida is going to feel good. I think he's going to get a KO.
I think Almeida's going to get the KO too. I think he's going to look clean. I think the striking will be on point, and I think he's a minus 400 favorite for good reason, man. Plus 300 for Potieria. Looking at Almeida by knockout, minus 275. Holy shit. Yeah, Almeida
those odds are, give him a lot of credit.
Yeah, a little too wide, man. But I think Almeida's pulling through. I feel good about an Almeida W. I think he's going to knock Potieria out.
You know?
Yeah.
Look at the chat, still mad about Potieria dancing after he knocked old man Shogun out. Bro, it's exciting to finish a fight. I was looking at Morgan Charrier on Saturday. Like, man, come on, bro. You were supposed to beat this guy. Chill, you know? But it is what it is. You win a fist fight, you know? You win a fist
setup. It's still good.
I mean, it's a crazy feeling. You win a fist fight in front of a huge crowd.
It's sick, a UFC win, bro.
Yeah, like how many times in his life does he get that moment?
Right.
Let him scream. That's fine.
Yeah, I agree. We're going for Almeida with confidence. You know the side. It's the A side. This next one I think is interesting. Marina Rodriguez versus Iasmin Lucindo. I think Lucindo is going to pull through against Rodriguez in this fight. I'm a fan of Lucindo as a prospect right now. The reason I'm picking her is I think she can actually strike with Rodriguez because of her speed. Watched Rodriguez and Andrade, and I noticed that Andrade was, getting touched a bit from long range by Rodriguez, but there were moments where Andrade landed some big punches and backed Rodriguez up. And there were also moments where Andrade was on top. Lucindo has very good hook flurries. It's not the same in the way that Andrade throws them, but like there's a sense of similarity. I just think Lucindo's a bit quicker at this point with her hands. I mean, she's young at 22. I think she's absolutely primed. I also think that she's skilled beyond her years for sure. And if they grapple, I favor Lucindo there. So I'm taking a Lucindo decision. The 22-year-old takes out the OG in this fight.
Lucindo throws wide as fuck, and I think that Marina Rodriguez is going to piece her shit up in Salt Lake City, Utah. AJ, they're at elevation. Lucindo throws like this when she gets going, and I think Marina Rodriguez staying calm, collected, shooting her shots, staying a bit disciplined, not being against a grappler. These are good things. I like Marina Rodriguez dog money in this matchup. Shit. But I appreciate AJ's opposite take. We'll see on Saturday, AJ. I just feel like at Salt Lake City in that third round, Lucindo's gonna be throwing that wide ass shit, and Marina Rodriguez should be able to find that jab cross, low kick, simple shit. She throws clean Muay Thai, like she came to the UFC with that clean Muay Thai. I know we've seen her get out grappled, but I do believe that this is not an opponent who will serve up a wrestling decision. Lucindo's gonna plant her feet and try to get her out of there, and that might be a problem in round 2 and 3. Marina Rodriguez decision.
All right, I respect the underdog pick, and I gotta respect the donos. AJ, thank you for $2.99. Hating on King's World, I can see. He says to tell you be a man, King's World. AJ, thank you for $2.99. And Ali Point V TV, the OG, thank you for the $2. Finchman and AJ, 100K subscribers. I predict these things. Let's go. Closing in on 40,000. Definitely 2025. It's live for 100K.
Everybody watching the show, like and subscribe. You got to subscribe to my man AJ DeVito. He's running this MMA experts thing. Great. Go show him some love.
Let's go, my man. Thank you, Ali. I appreciate you, brother. Let's go. Damn, you're on Rodriguez. I'm not surprised though, because the Muay Thai, you look like Rodriguez with the way you're holding the hands. That's how she.
Is that right? That's how she fights. I don't know. I think she's pretty with it, bro.
I think that Lucindo actually fights more like that with the tight fist, throwing 100% into everything.
No,
I get why you're picking Rodriguez.
I was just watching her fights back, and I'm like, man, she's gonna gas out.
I think that. Lucindo might surprise us with the gas tank, bro. I guess that's the question mark. Does she get tired? If she's got 3 hard rounds in her, I think she's got this fight. If she gasses, Rodriguez with the experience can give her a veteran lesson for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now you're seeing me.
But
yo, I like that we've been, because I was like, are we gonna pick the same fights this whole? Of course not. So that's cool. That's funny because I didn't know what the odds were or whatever, and I was like, oh, I think Marina did some tape. I'm like, Marina, and then I look, she's the dog.
She's the dog.
This card's weird to me with the odds, but
plus anyway. 145. Marina Rodriguez, yeah. Minus 170 Lucindo. Over good. 2.5, minus 330.
I had my buddy telling me to slow down. He was like, my boy T-Bone. People know him at this point. I had T-Bone telling me to slow down. He was saying, yo, Marina Rodriguez is old, bro. I don't think so. I think that's wrong. But
listen, I respect an underdog call either way. And the side of the fight that you're breaking down is not something that I'm blind to. I can see what you're seeing in Rodriguez for sure. Like I get that. That's the path to victory for her. It's just about if Lucindo is successful closing the gap, landing big shots, and then mixing in some takedowns, then the fight gets interesting. But if she's caught up on the outside with Rodriguez and that flurrying style is ineffective and she's getting stung, for sure, I can see her uncomfortable and hesitant.
You know, we'll see which fight unfolds, AJ.
We'll see. Let's keep running up. Let's jump to our featured prelim of the night. We got Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Joaquin Buckley. I'm going with the Karate Kid himself. I'm going with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson to beat Buckley. I really think Thompson's going to keep Buckley at distance and outstrike him. If you're looking at Buckley's, last couple fights, he's winning them mixing in takedowns. And if you look at Wonderboy Thompson, historically very good takedown defense. The guys that get him to the floor are superior grapplers to a Buckley. Gilbert Burns, who had a damn hard time doing it, let me tell you. Bilal Muhammad, the current champ, and Shavkat, the current top contender. And in the first round, Shavkat couldn't get Wonderboy down. So I think Buckley now, he's going to pressure wrestle, take him down and body Wonderboy. I think Buckley's going to need to drop some hammers on Wonderboy and hurt him, but that's a lot easier said than done. I think Wonderboy still has his reflexes. He's not a guy that absorbed a lot of damage throughout his damn career. There's moments he took damage in fights, but if you look, been knocked out one time in all of his fights, including kickboxing. Wonderboy's slick, man, and I think he can technically outpoint Buckley. I'm going with Wonderboy.
Damn, dog pick for AJ. Let's go, man. I got a lot of respect for Wonderboy. Wonderboy is a phenomenal distance striker on the balls of his feet. It's green zone, right? Green long range, yellow, red. Green zone striking. That front leg side kick he throws to the knee is beautiful, but he hits so light with it. And if you go find the interview, he goes, I don't really want to hurt him. It's like, Wonderboy, you're in a fist fight in a cage for $100,000. Stomp his fucking knee out, dude. You want me to bet on you? You better stomp that fucking knee. I want to see you John Jones that shit. Rampage said, he's like, when I get out of my Lamborghini, I think, fuck John Jones. Because his knees hurt. Because John stomped that shit back because they said, you got $300K more dollars coming your way if you beat this guy. Okay, let's ruin his, so it's a cage fight and Wonderboy doesn't even use all of his weapons, man. He's here to play or something. Wonderboy's phenomenal. Wonderboy has a high striking IQ. His question mark kick is something I've emulated. Like I try to just learn from him, take it from him. I take a lot of stuff from him. His warm-ups that he does these karate warm-ups where you bounce and then move forward and back. I think it's great for footwork. There's so many things I like, but AJ knows where I'm going with this. This is a long-winded way to say that Joaquin Buckley should be able to put the youth on him, to put the speed and the power, to put the wrestling on him, to put the vicious striking on him. I think Joaquin Buckley just finds a way to beat him up because he is 41 years old and he has not shown phenomenal takedown defense against, albeit great wrestlers, but he's been getting taken down. I think Joaquin Buckley finds a way to do the same thing. Give me Joaquin Buckley.
Wow, Joaquin Buckley. I understand where you're coming from, man. I do. Buckley's younger. He hits hard. I guess I just really believe that Thompson has the precision advantage. When I think of guys with pressure striking styles that have struggled lately with Wonderboy Thompson, I'm like, okay, he did give Jeff Neal a dominant beating. He did whoop Luke Hay. I know it's been a little bit of time. Solid win there. Does have a W over Kevin Holland in 2022. Where he did really good work and he hurt Kevin Holland bad in the fight. If we get the Thompson from 2022, granted, you never know, right? Because we talked about it at the start of the show, being 40, you don't know when that last fight's going to kick in and you're going to fall apart. If he's still that same guy, I think he outpoints Buckley. I think he stops the takedowns. I think he avoids the big punches, and I think he gets a decision.
I see what you're saying there. Yeah. If if he's on point and prime Wonder Boy, I could see that too. He's a bad matchup for people because you have to be able to get a hold of him and then be able to drag him to the ground, and you have to be able to strike with him enough to do that. And so it's just very hard to rush a fight with him, man. He moves really, really well. He keeps distance really well. All those karate fights, all those kickboxing fights, his whole life. He is just a tremendous manager of space, and it's masterful with it, man. It's very, very interesting to see how smart he is, and he's a great instructor. So if you want to learn martial arts for free, check out Wonder Boy's YouTube channel. It's a gold mine. Some things you leave, but most things I take. His footwork and the stuff that he does, it's very hard to hit him, and that's a great quality to have. So all love for Wonder Boy. I just feel like he's going to get roughed up by a dude who's on a rampage right now. If you notice, it's a fade the 40s card from me, buddy.
I respect it. Minus 200 for Joaquin Buckley. Wonder Boy at plus 170. You interested in an over under here? We got over 2.5, under plus 165. You think it's going all three?
I mean, I think that's, I'm looking we just watched Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. He pulls you could see into the future, right? In the ball. I'm looking and I can't quite, it's like Buckley might strangle him, fucking TKO him from the back mount, or Buckley might have a lot more trouble taking him down and we go long. So I don't know.
All right. Respect. I'm going Thompson, Finchman on Buckley to close out the prelims. We got to jump to our main card opener. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you smash the likes. And if you're new, subscribe it up. We got Roman Dolidze versus Kevin Holland. I'm going to go with Kevin Holland to get the win in this fight simply because Dolidze is an atrocious striker and he's not a very high caliber wrestler. He's good at bullying opponents, out grappling them, out muscling them. He's been able to do it. But when I really dig into the wins, right, and I really analyze them, I think to myself, outside of the Jack Hermanson win, you have him, I guess, giving Vittoria a hard fight in a, loss still. But the Phil Hawes win, the Dawkins win, the Star Poli win, none of which jump out the page and impress me. I know we went long with the Mavov, but styles make the fight sometimes. Kevin Holland has a massive striking advantage. His boxing's way better. And Kevin Holland has good jiu-jitsu. Now, could Dolidze out-muscle him and control him for 3 rounds? Maybe. But I think Kevin Holland can catch him with some big punches and avoid some of Dolidze's takedowns. I don't know where Kevin Holland's wrestling defense is at right now. It's been a while since he's taken on a guy that's really looking to wrestle fuck him. But if those takedown, defensive abilities are on point and Dolidze's stuck striking, I don't care if Holland was fighting at 170. He can lay Dolidze out, even though Dolidze's never been chinned. I'm going to pick Holland to find a way.
Yeah, exactly. I have similar thoughts. It's like this fight could not be going Kevin Holland's way, and I could see him pulling something out of the fire. You got to pull it out of the fire, Leon. Isn't that is that quote?
Yeah,
is that close? I think Roman Dolidze is a stronger man. I think that he will be able to get a hold of Kevin Holland and drag him around a little bit. But Kevin Holland's quick with it, man. He's got a nice counter cross. He's dangerous everywhere. He does have submissions. He does have chokes. Kevin Holland's an interesting one. So it's a fight. This one's definitely a fight. Give me Kevin Holland, man. I think the odds might be a little wide, as AJ pointed out off camera. But, I think Kevin Holland's the move here.
Kevin Holland's minus 160 as the favorite. Dolidze plus 140 as the dog. Kevin Holland KO, if he was to pull it off, sits at plus 400. But note, Dolidze never been knocked out as a pro. It's like he beat Anthony Smith, right? Who's a big light heavyweight last time, but really towards the tail end. I know he went long with Mavov, but he still lost that fight. I know he had moments with Vittori, but he still lost that fight. It's like, Kevin Holland's a weird one, but I definitely think he's way cleaner at striking. And then I got to rely on Dolidze to land these key takedowns and just control for majority of the fight. I feel like Holland's defensive grappling is good enough to survive. Kevin Holland, you know what? Say what you want. He still knocked out Jacare from the bottom back in the day. I think Kevin Holland's still good to go, and I'm going a Holland KO, or not an upset, but a win.
Well, it's plus 400. Kevin Holland's the favorite, but the thing that I look at here is, can Roman Dolidze just pin his shoulders on the mat? If that's the case, that would be a nice sneaky underdog. So it's something to look at. Again, looking at this at a glance, I had Kevin Holland as well, but the tape study will happen this week. I promise.
All right, there we go. Kevin Holland, the pick for me, the pick for Finch. Let's keep running. Next fight on our main card, we got the ladies going after it. Kayla Harrison versus Ketlen Vieira in what seems to be the #1 contender fight for this bantamweight title, which is on the line in the co-main event. I like the chances of a Kayla Harrison heavy pressure attack, clinch work, judo toss. Mike Finch is smirking. He's getting me nervous over here. Holy shit. I'm going Kayla Harrison on the cards. I think she'll have moments, but I feel like Vieira is going to be hard to put away. And Finch, what's up?
Pacheco got her.
After the third time's a charm, though, she lost the first two. It took her years to figure out the puzzle, right?
And this is a girl who is more well-rounded in very significant ways than the average Kayla Harrison opponent. I mean, Ketlen Vieira is very good at striking. She's a student of Jose Aldo's longtime coach, and what she's been able to do striking has been fight against the top women in the division. She's fought them all almost. And so I think that this is more of a test than people think for Kayla Harrison. I understand Kayla Harrison's judo is incredible. She's freakishly strong. She's not up at 155. Well, remember, she was fighting before. She's cutting all this weight. And you're going to put her up at high elevation, too, against a woman who's fought at high-level UFC fights for a long time now. And Andre Pedernera's in her corner, I think, can come up with a Jose Aldo-type strategy of outstriking and disengaging with Judo Kayla, and even making the tides turn against her in some of the grappling, since Ketlen Vieira has real jiu-jitsu. So I think the odds are wide. Now that I just sold Ketlen Vieira, the pick is probably the judo of Kayla Harrison. She could get through her, but at plus 400 or whatever it is, 4-1 favorite, no fucking way I'm betting on Kayla Harrison on those odds.
No, 9-1, bro. She's minus 900 right now.
You're kidding.
I'm
straight money line.
Straight money line's minus 900 for Kayla.
Yeah. Is this not more of a test than that? Am I tripping?
I get where you're coming from, because Vieira is relatively good. She gave Raquel Pennington a tough fight on a competitive split decision loss. I like Ketlen Vieira's Muay Thai. For the most part, her grappling's good. It's just I feel like she's taken on someone that's exceptional there. And I do think she ends up on bottom for a lot of the fight. But I respect the game enough so to think that Vieira could survive to the final bell.
Yeah, that's definitely a look too. Yeah, that's definitely a look too. I see what you're saying there. That's where some value's at. All right. I'm saying Ketlen Vieira is not a fucking 9-1 dog, and I don't think she's going to look like it either.
Harrison by decision plus 120. The
Vieira.
over 2.5 is minus 160.
I don't know about under overs, but I do know that Ketlen Vieira is 9-1 dog to Kayla Harrison. Kayla Harrison's a beast, man. She looks so good against Holly Holm. I think people are high after that one. They saw her destroy Holly, and they're like, oh, shit.
I think Kayla's that girl, man. I think she's going to body Ketlen Vieira. Lopsided decision.
Body, she should get a finish then, right?
Even if she's just on top, locking up, half guard, beating her up. I mean,
suck the energy out of her.
Yeah.
That'll be tough at high elevation too.
True. Maybe she gets a finish too with that high elevation. Who knows if Vieira's fatiguing out after getting dominated.
My pick is Judo Kayla. I said
Judo Kayla.
But I feel like Ketlen's got some real skills for her to overcome. Doesn't mean she can't overcome it, man. Yeah. I mean, Judo Kayla could fucking finish her. I think the strength advantage is obvious. The takedown advantage is obvious, but it's a well-rounded girl to fight. It's a real test.
Let's go. We're going with the side of Judo Kayla taking it home and earning her title shot. Let's get to the next fight. It's our featured fight. We got Jose Aldo versus Mario Bautista. I'm picking Jose Aldo to win, Finch. I think he can outstrike Bautista. Jose Aldo has historically great takedown defense. And Bautista, though I think he's promising, was still having competitive fights against like a Ricky Simone or a Damon Blackshear. And that doesn't tell me you're beating Jose Aldo, even a later stage Jose. But he didn't look like it in his UFC return. He beat up Jonathan Martinez for 3 rounds. I think Aldo is going to have to defend takedowns here. I think he'll be able to. I think he'll have more striking moments. And I think Jose Aldo's still significantly cleaner and faster in the striking than Bautista. I think he lands more significant shots, even watch for his work inside of the damn clinch. And then if we go to the ground, I don't think it's I don't think it's that likely that Bautista can take him down. If anything, Bautista would have to employ a very clinch-heavy pressure game. But Jose Aldo's balance is out of this world. Like I could see him smothered against the cage, but I can't really see him getting taken down and beaten up. I'm going Jose Aldo to take a decision home.
Dog money on Jose. How old's Jose?
38, I believe.
38. All right. At least he's not. I don't have to put him in the fade to 40s club because he is still looking great, man. You know, Jose's one where it's like, man, he's aging like fine wine. The dude's boxing combinations look really good. He was going to do some pro boxing. Did he?
Yeah, he did.
That's right.
He did. Yeah.
He went away to do some pro boxing, and his hands look great. He's such an experienced UFC fighter now. He's such a veteran in the game. It's a big deal for Bautista. It's a real test for him. Fuck it. I got Jose Aldo too. I think Jose Aldo can get this thing done 2 out of 3 rounds. I do think it's a competitive fight. I do think Jose defends the clinch, defends the takedowns, keeps this thing striking, makes it look like a Jose Aldo fight. No reason to me it shouldn't. It's a similar level test to a Jonathan Martinez. I think Jose Aldo can get this fucking thing done at 38, at 145.
135, yeah. But still, I know what you mean. Plus 120, though. Underdog line for Aldo is surprising. And then minus 140 for Bautista, the favorite. Aldo by a decision, plus 175 with the over 2.5 at minus 300. I think we're going long. I think Jose Aldo's outpointing Bautista, fending off some takedowns. Bautista's got a decent pressure attack, but I think he's going to fail on every attempt and then get hit. Jose Aldo's still got it, man. I don't care what anybody says. I think he came back from boxing better. I think the boxing, for some fighters, they fall apart. But for Aldo, it worked, and he needed that break. I think resting his body up, now coming back, I think he's got 3 more after this one. High-level fights, and if he wins, he's in the potential title conversation, too.
Yeah, he's just built different, man. He's got this just 0 to 60, boom, explosiveness. So when you get a hold of him and you try to wrestle him, he didn't forget that shit, and he's very technical with it. You know, the way he sprawls, the way he uses whizzers, the way he grapples, he's very high level and a great athlete. And the combination has been very interesting to watch. You know, he's a real phenom. He's a real talent. So yeah, big respect for Jose, and it makes sense that he's the guy to fucking be able to go back and forth from sport to sport, where a lot of people would say it's a negative. Jose, like you said, made it a positive.
Yeah, agreed. Aldo to pull through. We're going with the Aldo underdog, which I'm happy about. I was hoping that we were seeing the same thing. Jose Aldo, underdog pick over Mario Bautista. Well, let's keep going. Let's get it. Co-main event of the evening. We have Raquel Pennington versus Julianna Peña. I like this fight a lot. And initially, I wasn't excited for it. But when I sat down and dug into it, I am excited because I watched their Ultimate Fighter seasons back tough 18. I remember Pennington losing in the semifinals, which was an upset against Jessica Rakoczy. You remember Jessica Rakoczy from that season, bro? She retired from MMA, 1-5 as a pro. Worst UFC record of all time. Maybe outside of someone like the UFC 1 fighters, you know what I'm saying? Oh, and God, she won some fights on the show, but obviously they don't count on the record. She would have been 4-5 if you include the exhibitions. But Pennington, you know, was very raw back then, ended up losing in the semifinals, and Peña went on to win the whole show. And now Pennington's champion, and Peña and her clash for the first time, which, you know, is kind of crazy, right? Because they've been on the roster since that point against one another, and they've never fought. So there's a lot built into this fight. I think behind the scenes too, their beef from even years ago is still fuming. And I'm going with the side of Pennington to get a decision. I think she's cleaner. Julianna Peña is a relentless pressure fighter with deceptively good boxing, but it is a little clunky. She got beat real bad last time by Amanda Nunes and was dropped on many occasions, and she was even out-wrestled there. Pennington's been looking good. Her wrestling's been holding up nicely. Her boxing's been looking pretty on point. I feel like with the gas tank that's proven to, be able to go long here, the cleaner skill set, the more tools in the striking department, the wrestling defensive abilities, and potentially even the wrestling offense. What's interesting is last time Pennington got her back taken by Bueno Silva a bit. She survived those positions, but Peña is not a grappler like a Bueno Silva where she's going to be jumping back like that. I think she's more traditionalist with the wrestling. She's going to be looking to get Pennington down and control her. I just don't think that's super likely. I think Pennington outstrikes her, outworks her, and gets a win. I'm going Raquel Pennington and still.
That was extremely convincing because you know what? She fought the most tired Mayra Bueno Silva. Do you remember how tired Bueno Silva was in that fight?
Mm-hmm.
And, Raquel Pennington was just able to keep her composure and beat her up as those rounds went on. Julianna Peña, I have not seen have cardio problems, though. Julianna has pushed a hard 5 rounds. So, I still think Julianna can get to her. I still think that Julianna's wrestling is going to make sense. I'm saying still think. You guys don't know what my pick is. It's Julianna Peña because I saw Mayra Bueno Silva get to the back of Raquel Pennington. I've seen Rocky Pennington go to these really close split decisions. And those type of fights seem to be Pennington's strong suit. Pennington does seem to find a way. When like Amanda Nunes got tired, you saw how Pennington turned it up, brawled with her. Now she's showed holes in her. Julianna Peña, Julianna Peña was able to beat up Amanda Nunes when they started throwing hard. Julianna Peña has holes in her games. She's showed that. But Julianna Peña, I think, is going to be able to out-wrestle a Raquel Pennington. That being said, Raquel Pennington beat Ketlen Vieira. She's, been in these fights where she's dog-tired and finds a way to win these split decisions. It's not a lock. There's no question about it. I'm not betting the fucking the house on Peña, but I think Peña's got a shot to take her down, take her back, win this fight, decision or submission, whatever it comes out to. I think that Peña is going to have the grappling advantage.
Odds for the fight: Julianna Peña is the plus 140 dog. Pennington is minus 160. I lean towards that over at minus 260, but it's 4.5 rounds. It's going to be sweaty. I'm going with a Pennington decision at plus 110, Peña by decision plus 235. I guess my question is, do you rate the 2-year layoff for Peña as a worrisome factor, especially now coming back at high elevation against Pennington, who's been active?
100%. How active has she been? She's fought, what, twice? Raquel Pennington fought once this year, January. So 8 months, that's fine. And then twice last year. All right. No, once last year. So only one fight in 2023, one fight in 2024. It matters, though. Ketlen Vieira is a real opponent. I just hyped Ketlen Vieira up hard. And so is Mayra Bueno Silva. Mayra Bueno Silva just, I think, showed that she had some skills to win that fight and then just gassed hard. The way you beat Rocky Pennington is you out-grapple her. You take her back. She's not great at wrestling. And there's a pathway there. With that being said, is this a lock? Would you lock Pennington?
I don't know about that.
We'll find out
about that right now. We'll see.
We'll find out.
We're going on opposite sides. We got Finchman on Peña, myself on Pennington, and let's jump up to our main event of the evening. If you guys are watching and enjoying the money line, make sure you smash the like button. And if it's your first time on the channel, make sure you sub it up. Alex Pereira versus Khalil Rountree Jr. I'm picking Alex Pereira. As we all know, I think Pereira's stand-up game is going to be significantly better. I know Rountree gets a ton of praise because he adapted a very Muay Thai striking style for MMA after going to Thailand. But we have to be realistic. As much power as he seemingly has, it's not like Rountree is like laying everybody out. There's been lower level guys that have sat in there and mixed it up with Khalil and gave him trouble. I mean, just 2 years ago, Dustin Jacoby and him went to a close split decision. I mean, I picked Rountree, so I said, fuck it. I thought he won, but it was really close. Michael Bowman says he's back. Michael Bowman says he's back.
Michael
Good to see
Bowman.
him. Wow, look at this guy.
Bowman.
Bowman says he's back, and for some reason I can't get this damn super chat to show, but it's saying he dropped the big 50. Bowman, thank you for the 50. I don't know why it's not popping on my screen here.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. For those of you who don't know, Michael Bowman is beloved around here. $50. Look who's back again. Bowman's back. Tell your friends. Guess who's back? Well, part-time at least. Much love. Much love right back to you, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you, Bowman. We're glad you're all right, my brother. Alex Pereira by KO. Violent, vicious, ferocious. Rountree was getting hit by Anthony Smith, and now he's going to avoid everything from Pereira and just run him over. I don't see it, man. I don't see that. I think that Pereira catches him with a hook, probably. Lays him out as Rountree looks to close distance. I don't think Rountree can take a Pereira bomb. I don't think anybody can at light heavyweight if they get hit clean.
You know, Alex Pereira is in his prime right now. He seems to be the best kickboxer in the world of mixed martial arts. Okay. He seems to be the best on earth at getting in the UFC cage and knocking people out. And you're going to give me essentially a pure striker to fight him who, I mean, doesn't really deserve the title shot. Is it like glaring, you know? I mean, he would be an underdog against Ankalaev, I'll tell you that. So
he'd be a 4-1 underdog against Ankalaev.
You know what I'm saying? Alex Poatan Pereira by knockout. Yes, freak things happen. Flukes happen, you know? People want to be like, I don't know, this feels like the one. But if you're breaking down this fight, you see Poatan slamming a left hook and a low kick and giving range problems to Rountree, who has to deal with him in the big cage. And Poatan's so calm, I think he'll deal well if he gets a little tired. As where when Khalil Rountree gets a little tired. And finally, one of his best things is he keeps that high guard. If you could get that high guard to start coming down a little bit, that's where Poatan finds him. His defensive boxing, his defensive movement is mostly block based, and I don't like that style against a Poatan who breaks everything he hits. You want to make Poatan miss, and I don't think that Rountree is going to be able to do that enough. Alex Poatan Pereira knockout.
Shout out to Harry Turu for the 10. Hey, gents, will you please rank my favorite picks for this event? Pennington, Spann, Buckley, Harrison, Raquel, and Pereira. I mean, shit. I think we're in agreement with almost all of them. Besides Finch is on Peña, and I am on Wonderboy.
That's exactly what my response would be. I would definitely say Pennington and Peña's a little more questionable than these other ones. You know, there's more consistency with some of these. I guess Ryan Spann, you can't call consistent. No, I like him, man. I like him. My advice, definitely drop Pennington, and you know,
yeah,
I don't know. Odds matter when you bet. So picks wise, I see why you got these up.
Respect. Dude, I think Alex Pereira showcase fight. I think he's gonna catch him. I think this is a mismatch. Khalil has a great story getting here, and it's awesome that he's getting the title shot. I watched Khalil on Tough. We've seen the whole run. He was a finalist on The Ultimate Fighter. And to see him get the opportunity to fight for the belt is heartwarming. But unfortunately, he's going to be cold, man. He's getting knocked the fuck out, bro. Alex Pereira is going to destroy him. I know people see Rountree's, power as a big facet, but like there's guys that go along with him that are nowhere near Pereira's level of striking. What's interesting is my brother's picking Khalil to win. He's like been a big Khalil fan since The Ultimate Fighter days. He's going for him. And some people in the chat that I know that like Rountree to get a knockout. They'll be Mystic Max if they call it, but I really think Pereira is just too technical, and he's got crazy power. It's not like Pereira is just a technician, and he's going to have to work for 5 rounds. It's one touch, and it's over.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. It's like, it's not just that you're dealing with a guy who knows how to win rounds. He could just slam that low kick in there, move around. He controls range really well. He also has the nuclear option. So there's just no getting away from him. And he's a long power puncher. I feel like a lot of power punchers are these compact guys, you know?
Yeah.
He's a long one. So he's going to be able to hit you from range, close distance quickly. You know, Khalil Rountree hasn't shown as many wrinkles in his game. And I've heard a take where it's like, well, Khalil Rountree's great at beating kickboxers. Khalil Rountree's beat all these different kickboxers. It's like, yo, who's beaten more kickboxers than Alex Peña? Well, you know what I mean? I mean, how many times has Alex Peña fought a fellow striker in his life? That's his norm. He's very comfortable there. And who's he been sparring with? César Almeida. I think that's a pretty good look in preparing for Khalil Rountree, who I think is going to be easier to hit than that.
Yeah.
Poetan, dog.
Poetan all day long. The money line is wide as it gets. Minus 460 for Poetan, plus 360 for Rountree. Over 1.5 is minus 135. Let me tell you something. What I like here is an under 2.5 at minus 230. Seems like a money call. I think that's definitely going to happen. And Pereira by knockouts minus 350. Bro, that under 2.5 is crazy. Minus 230. If you can find an under 2.5, that seems like undersized. That should be minus 450. What? Get that under 2.5 while you can, bro.
Wham! You think you're seeing? Is it the knee? Is it the hook?
So because Khalil's a southpaw, and at times he like kind of brings his hand out to throw wide, I'm kind of feeling like Pereira's got a chance to catch him with that lead hook, similarly to how we caught Jamal.
The way he caught Jamal was he stepped on his foot.
That was
and fucking laid him out, and he got hit in the nuts and said, "I'm good. I'm a gangster. Everything on me is made out of stone," and just came forward with the left hook, just closed that distance brilliantly. It was a veteran move, you know, very veteran move. Alex Peña is a veteran at fighting strikers, very good at it. He's the best in the world at the light heavyweight division, and so come on, guys. I think the odds are justified.
Pereira round 1 is plus 150. Round number 2, though, you get him plus 350.
I mean, under overs, how quickly is he gonna knock him out? Now we're talking risk. Like,
he's gonna lay him out cleanly. I'm telling you, Finch, he's gonna lay him out, bro.
You know,
he's gonna put him to sleep. He's gonna knock him the fuck out. We're gonna say, holy shit.
Is that not what we're set up for here, folks? Is that not what we're set up for here?
It is.
Come on, man. Khalil Rountree. I think in order to beat Poetan, you got to either take him down or you got to find that overhand right. And the overhand right is a tough one, especially now. You know, he's very comfortable and looks great. And the taking him down part's getting harder too. So, yeah, Rountree Poetan seems like a bad matchup to me for Khalil Rountree.
I think he's a horrible matchup for Khalil. I think Khalil's en route to getting flatlined, to be honest with you. I think that's what's going to happen. I think he's going to get knocked out under 2.5. I think realistically, first 2 rounds for Alex Pereira is going to be where he finds his death punch.
You know, I'm not going to personally bet under over on this fight. I don't have any intention to anyway. I understand the under. I understand why people say that. But we've also seen a patient Poetan. So, you know, we'll see how he feels. I don't, you know, I don't see, I know they're both dangerous strikers, but, you know, this might not be a first rounder. I don't know. I'm going to have to watch a little more tape and consider that one, AJ.
I respect it. Finch, you know what we got to do, right?
What do we got to
Even
do?
if you're not dropping it, I got to sing the song with you. We're jumping into it. It's parlay time.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
Parlay time. Open up your wallets and let's bet on some fist fights.
Yeah, it's parlay time. UFC 307's going down, and here's AJ's parlay tonight.
Okay, so we're going to rock with the chalky as hell over 2.5 rounds in the Pennington and Esparza fight because that shit's going distance, okay? Then we're going to add in César Almeida as a chalky favorite, and then we're going to throw even more chalk on the line with Superman Spann, Mr. 50-50, to risk it all for just a measly minus 105.
Holy shit.
I got for you today, bro. That's what I got for you, a little alternate parlay.
Let's go. Look, guys, I like it. AJ does great with his parlays. I've formerly been known as the Parlay King, and I'm feeling some parlays this time. So I've never bet so much money so far out from a fight, from a card, I should say. And I like a couple parlays on this one. So I've been dropping some for free on my free channel on Telegram, and then my 5 most confident bets I put on Telegram as well. You guys could check those out. Link in description on my channel, and I'll be live after this with my 5 most confident picks overall, ignoring the odds. Who do I think is going to win? And so, this card's a good one for that, I believe.
Let's go. If you haven't seen the Finch Man's channel, I just dropped it in the live chat so you guys can check them out. Finch, I do want to flex something. I finally got this every fight to make next thumbnail style down. Have you seen it? You want me to show you? I got the picture.
Please show me. Please.
Let's check this out. Check this out. You see this beauty? You see this magnificent thumbnail style, my friend? Holy shit.
This is really good.
I'm telling you, I've been figuring out these thumbnails. It took me only, 4.5 years, but we finally got clean thumbnails. And for those out there that haven't seen my Fights I Need to See Next series, where I'm putting the matchmaker hat on and trying to do what Mike Finch thinks I'm very gifted at by dropping the best fights and most realistic ones to happen next out, and best maybe for business too. That video is also dropped in the live chat. Check it out as you leave here and wait for Finch, because I'm sure he's going to take at least 15 minutes. He's chilling.
I got to make my blurry thumbnail that I can't figure out how to not get blurry. I gotta fuck that up.
Right.
No, yeah, I'll be on in a few, and I'll see you guys there. I'm super excited for the card. Stick with MMA experts all fucking week. AJ's got you guys every single day. I'm going to commit to dropping a pick every single day, a bet, I should say, every single day. I definitely like to watch weigh-ins. It was good to see, Twerk Girl. Twerk Girl just won. Eileen Perez missed weight. Like, shit like that matters, right? So there is something to waiting to bet at weigh-ins, but some of these odds, I mean, me and AJ talked about it today. I'm looking at some of these and I'm like, are you sure? So on the under overs and on the money lines, let's fucking have a good week, AJ. UFC pay-per-view going down in Salt Lake City. I'm fucking hyped.
Malik Smith, thank you for closing out the show with a big $10. We appreciate you. Got to keep the donor train running to support the boys. Just want to say AJ's main event called Parlay with Finch's over in the Kutalaba Arslan fight. Appreciate the grind. Let's go, my brother. Let's go.
Come on.
Big W.
Come on, folks. Take a bow. All right. Start playing Celebration by Post Malone right now. Thank you.
Guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you go check out Finch. And also, we need to remember something. Dana White's Contender Series ain't going away. I'm breaking it down late. It's what, 1:42? Give me 20 minutes. I'll start recording. I'll do it till maybe 3. It'll be up by like 3, 4 in the morning. I'll have the video out. The full card breakdown for Contender Series still dropping. I got a lot of energy. I'm still good. And we're making it happen. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate you all, as does the Finch. And yes, live stream tomorrow, live stream the next day, every single day, live streams every day, content every day. Keep it locked in at MMA Experts as we close in on 40,000 subscribers to close out the year. So make sure you sub if you haven't, and also smash the likes for the money show. Thanks for watching, guys. Go check out the Finch Man. We appreciate you. Peace out. Bye-bye.